my dear ones, September. September. For me, it's always a great good month because I associate it to new beginnings, opportunities for greater learning, a sense of excitement, because that's how we all felt in that green land where I grew up many moons ago. At least 200 years, I think, has passed since I was there. We went back to school in September, bright and shining, and brand new clothes in the primary school, and new uniforms in the high school, new books, and the opportunity for new friends, new teachers, and more learning. More learning. And it was a joyous week that first week. And then the work set in. But it's a great, good feeling, this feeling of I'm ready and I'm open for something new. I'm ready to learn more. I'm ready to be more because of what I'm learning. And it is just a fantastic energy. And to be with the people we know and love and to make new friends. That's what it is to rise higher, to rise higher. What kept going on in my mind as we were experiencing that little meditation thing was, I saw the angel in the stone, and I carved until it appeared. Michelangelo. As he was chipping out, I believe it was David. I saw the angel in the stone, and I carved until it appeared. And it hit me in a very real way. That's all you and I have to do on this plane. To recognize the angel within us and to carve mightily until it is released and it appears. And the carving is the work, the spiritual work that you and I engage in, not that we have to do, but that we choose to engage in so that we can release that powerful angelic essence that is the image and the likeness of the one who created us. That's what it is to rise higher. And in the scripture it says, come higher, my friend. Come higher, my friend. The month of September is totally dedicated to rising higher. Rising higher. Last month was about spiritual relaxation and all kinds of good relaxation, fun and play and time out for ourselves and so on. And we can keep some of that in this month too. But this month is roll up your sleeves and get at it. But get at it with a sense of joy and bring it on. Get at it in that way. Go to it mightily. Not because you have to, but because you're impelled to by the spirit that you're hearing from within. You're impelled. When did you last feel impelled by spirit? All shook up in spirit. When did you last have that experience? Because you could have it every single day of your life, and so could I. And what stops us and what blocks us? Oh, that amazing thing called egoic life and living that mesmerizes us into thinking this is my life. We have to, anyone who's ever made it through the barrier of ego has said the one thing. We must go beyond mind to become unlimited, to become the true essence of ourselves. In experience, you and I can study it, We can discuss it, we can view it, we can do it all until the cows come home every single day, and yet never, ever understand what it is. Now, you and I have had enough exposure to the truth that sets us free, and we've learned a lot about it. But at this stage in your life, don't you want to just experience it? Enough with all the definitions. What you and I want deeply and truly is why we're here, is the experience of it. I want to know what it is to feel godly, to think in a godly way, to show up in a godly way. That angel inside of you and me is getting mighty itchy, mighty desperate to break free. But you and I have to pick up the chisel and the hammer and carve and carve and carve until that angel is set free. I would think it's worth the endeavor. Do you? Oh, 2 of us do. Isn't that great? That's a start. Those are seeds for the whole garden to become one with it and blossom. It takes energy. It takes spiritual guts, if you'll pardon the expression. I should say spiritual fortitude. But that's what it takes. When you're tired, when you're weary, when you're sick, sore, and sorry, when you're fed up, when you've had enough, that's the very moment you remember there's an angel in me and it wants to be freed, and it's not going to be freed if I don't pick up the chisel and the hammer and get to it, regardless of circumstances, regardless of it. I keep reminding myself, and I endeavor to remind you, no one is coming to do it for you. You are the one you called into being in order for you to complete the process. And you're at the ending now. You're in the final stretch of completing the process. Don't tire now. Don't loosen the reins now. Give it all you've got now. Ride that awareness. Fly it past the winning post and be done with it. There is nothing to lose and all to gain. That is good and whole and wholesome. It's not going to come to the faint of heart. And the faint of heart is you and me when we are faint of heart. It comes to those who are bold, those who always do and never try. Those who can take all the mistakes that they've made and say, I'll give it one more try. And that's what gets you to success. As Edison says, give it one more try and you'll get there. And that man knew what failure was. Hundreds and hundreds of failures before he met that moment when the ignition happened and there was light. Are you ready to chisel? Do you have a chisel? Do you have a hammer? And are they just sitting on a shelf somewhere for the time when maybe you just might need it? Get the tools out and start chiseling and hammering away at that incredible, unique, one-of-a-kind piece of art that you are. Free it. It was meant to shine and brighten the world, not to be hidden away, unseen, unrecognized, unborn. There are so many unborn ideas in us, I can tell you. And we have had so many stillbirths in that regard. Reminds me of the beautiful, wonderful edition of the McKinney baby, well, I should say, the India and Brett baby that has just come into the world. Never was a baby more desired. Never will there be a baby more loved than that little Anne Sadie. Do you know all the little ones inside of you that would love to be birthed? Love you to go to the endeavor, go through the pangs of birth to realize that thing in you that wants to break through but can't without your help. Think of it like this. Rising higher into what? Into what you already are. Rising higher is breaking out of the stone of egoic life and living that keeps us imprisoned. Rising up is like realizing, oh my gosh, I am the lost piece of jigsaw that completes the puzzle. And without me, that puzzle can never be complete and never can be fully appreciated, awed, and admired. You know yourself, anyone who's ever made a puzzle and then at the end of it there's one piece missing. You're not looking at the beautiful picture, you're looking at the space where there's one piece missing. And you search high and low for it. Yes, that's how essential you are. That's how infinitely important you are, because without you, your angel, your piece that has to be chiseled out to fit the jigsaw, it cannot be complete. It's an awesome thing to think about. That's how incredible, unique and important you are. Oh yeah, it's okay to think that way. Here in this wonderful room that's filled with such wonderful energy, spiritual energy that has accumulated over the many years. But when you're out in the marketplace, it's a whole different thing. It's easy to forget. And we will keep coming here until we are able to remember this out in the marketplace, when everything is going apparently wrong. Now, as it has been said, success is there for any one of us who wants to truly engage with it. Do you notice the word engage? That means pick up the chisel and the hammer and go to it. You don't get to stand back and look at it from afar. Visioning is a deeply important thing. Imagining is a deeply important thing. Thinking about it is a deeply important thing. Announcing it is a deeply important thing. But it doesn't get it done unless there's what? Action underpinning it all. We learned in kindergarten, stop, look, and listen. But I've added one to it. In every aspect of your life, stop, look, listen, and then move. Movement is what's important. Movement in the chiseling. Now, anybody who loves to do carpentry or who loves to do crafts, they just love to go at it. They just love to go at it, and they know they're not going to get the picture in their mind into reality until they go at it. And what do? They prepare. They're always prepared. I marvel. I go into some people's homes and the amount of craft stuff and everything else they have is incredible. And I'm thinking to myself, how in God's name would you ever have time to put all of that together and create something? But they do. It's part of their calling in life. Same with carpentry, or the same in any kind of crafting of anything. Whether it's carpentry or masonry or, whatever. It requires preparation, it requires planning, and then it requires effort. What is effort? It's energy, isn't it? You put energy into it. It takes energy to do physical work. It takes energy to do mental work. It takes energy to do anything. Now, how well aware are we of this every day when we wake up? We just go, oh, yes, today I have to do this, and I have to do that, and I have to get the other, and I have to go there, and that's all. And we're like a going machine without much thought of anything. You automatically go into your bathroom, you're brushing your teeth. Well, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm using every bit of spare time I can to stay as much awake as I can. I'm aware, I'm so grateful I have teeth to brush. Really, teeth, I love you. Thank you. I do. Putting on my socks, I say, oh, I'm so grateful I can put on my socks. I can put them on like this. But that takes effort. When that came to me some time back, I thought, I better start now, because otherwise I'll not be able to bend down and tie my shoelaces if I have to. I won't be falling up against the wall while I'm trying to do this. So I started doing things, started like, brush, and then I decided, well, let's do it with one foot, And I was going like this to begin with. And then I said, well, I'll just put my hand on the sink and lift the leg. Oh, yeah, that's great. I started that way. And now I can just go. And it's not that I'm any different to you. I'm not. I just put in the carving and the hammering and the chiseling. And let me tell you, when you're brushing your teeth like this, you have to be awake and alert and present. But then I always say, don't take my word for it. Try it out. Try it out. And start young, I say to the youngsters. Stay limber and stay able to move, with subtlety. And I used to say that to myself a lot when I was cycling up to the reservoir in Hollywood. Now, if you don't know where the reservoir is, it's like this. It took me 27 times to do it the first time, 27 times of stopping, until I got to the point where I could cycle up. And boy, was it fun coming down. It was worth every pedal going up. Your body is amazing, and it can do much more than you think it can do, and you can start the process at any age. Youth is an attitude. Age is an attitude. You look at Dr. Sue Rubin, and many of you know her. 2 years ago, she danced her way across the ocean with a big band cruise. And the woman is pushing 94. So age is not what causes us to be or not to be. The age of mind does. How you perceive yourself and how you think yourself. So I have learned that in living a life that is on the increase, the rising life, has to do with, look, there is the personal aspect to life and there is the collective aspect to life, and we're responsible in both aspects. And I have found that if I overdo the collective, the personal doesn't work so well, that I have to find the balance. You have to take care of all business. I've also learned that forgiveness is an essential, no matter what. For me, it is. And that's what I've learned in my study, and that's what I've learned in my experience of life. One of the great minds did say that it takes real courage to be able to forgive. The weak cannot forgive. It's only the strong. That's what was stated. Well, we've all experienced both of those situations in our lives, being weak and strong, but we know the difference between the two. And of course, there's only one to forgive, and that's oneself. And once we've forgiven ourselves, the rest is just, cherries on the cake. And that's very important. I've also learned that when you make mistakes, and you will, many, forgive yourself, get over it, and decide that you're not going to make mistakes. But if you do, make new ones. Don't keep repeating the old ones. It makes a huge difference. And let me tell you, you and I are going to make mistakes until we leave this plane, because that's how we learn. And there's not one amongst us that hasn't made a mistake. Here's another thing I want to share before they come and take me away, because they're all standing like guards at the back, and the light is flashing at me. Really. And here it is. When Jesus said, "Come follow me," he wasn't saying, "Stay in my company forever and a day. Be one of the gang." He was saying, follow me in the process of God realization. Do what it takes. Do what I have done. Become one with the Father, the godliness within you. Get to know the angel within you that wants to be free. That's what come follow me means. Not that I have to run away to a monastery or a convent, as I used to think once upon a time. It means follow in the conscious ascent of the soul to free itself, to know itself, to be itself, and come to that sense of bliss, which is comfort and ease no matter what's going on. And I really have to stop there, but I'm only beginning. I'm only getting going. It's frustrating. But I won't hold you to ransom. So I'm going to just say to you, say with me, right here and right now, exactly as I am. That angel is powerful within me. And I've never lost the tools to free it. So I am jolly well going to pick up the tools and carve and carve and carve and set my angel free. Woo! And so it is. Now you know the meaning of set my people free. My people are all the angels in you. That's what Spirit was meaning. Okay, now we have a wonderful moment where we get into gratitude and thanksgiving. And we realize really that we are abundant. Anybody who has anything that they can share is abundant. And it hasn't to do with the amount, it has to do with the willingness. The willingness. So let's take our gift between our blessing hands and say, there go the serving angels, if you're wondering. Know with me now, with deep gratitude and the joy of gratitude filling us, say, divine love consecrates my gift. It goes forth to bless, to prosper, to heal. All all those who give, and all those who receive. And boy, do I rejoice in the giving of something to another and sharing my good. And so it is. I'm just making sure you're not getting into blah, 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 blah. Thank you. Because we can make, we can make less of our special words that we repeat over and over again if we're not paying attention. All right, Reverend Catherine, Reverend Mama, Reverend Grandma, have at it.
This is the moment in our service where we acknowledge our mission statement, which is to honor your presence, to nurture your spirit, and to enrich the lives of all we serve. Usually, this is the point at which I read a message that I have edited to the point that even if someone was very specific, I want all of you to be able to identify it, and I keep it in that impersonal way. This one is different. This message is from me. The Science of Mind teaching has changed my life. It's changed my life in so many ways. I learned very much about prosperity. I've learned an incredible amount about gratitude. I have also learned and continue to learn and grow in the understanding of how I get in my own way. And I release whatever it is that I just simply don't need anymore so that I can be happier and more prosperous and more grateful. So today, I'm in such joy that the spiritual says I can't keep from singing, and I'm telling you I can't keep from smiling. I'm deeply grateful for this teaching, for this center, for all I have received. Making a difference has always been my goal, with grace and ease, and so it is.
Well, I have to say that if ever a child was dearly desired, it's the child of India and Brett, and the grandparents on both sides. No child could have been more desired and more prepared for. And so I would like us all to give an astounding round of applause to India for doing what she had to do, and to Brett, and congratulations. And we all send our love and hugs to the Blessed Trinity of you, but especially the baby. And so it's a lovely, joyful note to begin to conclude with. But now there are other things we have to contend with. In the joy, alongside of it, there is always much opportunity for sorrow. And in our world today, there's a great deal of sorrow happening. And it's just that we're recognizing it, not so that we can fall weak in sympathy, but we can be strong in compassion and support. And we can know for every person on this plane who's going through really tough times that we couldn't even imagine, that their angel within them is very powerful and potent, and that maybe, just maybe, these experiences is the opportunity to chisel that angel free. So we are going to know for every mind and heart on this planet, or wherever a mind and heart is, that the power and the presence within them will not let them down, will not desert them, and will see them through. Because we're going to be strong in the knowing, frequent in the knowing, and we will never cease stating the knowing until this world becomes a world of serenity. Next weekend is the anniversary, the 20th anniversary of 9/11. And so there will be all kinds of ceremonies happening then, Remember, the generation has come in that doesn't even know much about 9/11. But we all do. And so I'm going to invite us all this week to be powerful advocates of peace, even in the hardest moment in this week for us when we have to keep to this commitment. We're going to bounce out there, peace, 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 peace. The healing power of peace. Whatever's going on in our lives, with whomever is in our lives, we are going to look at it all in peace. We're going to relax, release, and let go, and let God be God by means of each situation that crosses our path, and we will just say, peace be still. Peace be still. Peace be still, because that which is within me and everyone in this experience of life, that one within it is greater than any outer experience. So that's what we're going to know. Would you like to join me in the endeavor to be the peace in this world that the world needs for a whole week? 4 of us, thank God. 6 of us. Oh, there's 8 of us. 9 of us. Do I have 10? Do I have all? And it's the same for you looking in. Yes, we're standing for peace. Yes, we are, Judy. We're standing for peace. So let's pray this prayer like we've never prayed this prayer before, and really enliven every word, because we are making the difference. We want to, and we want to do it more deeply and fully. Let's pray. I know divine love enfolds me. Divine light leads me. Divine life lives in me. Divine wisdom inspires me. Divine compassion expresses through me. And divine power protects me. All that I am is Spirit's life and expression. It is good and very good, with deep joy and generosity filling me. I go forward now in sacred service, supporting a compassionate world that works for all. I move through my days with grace and ease, in peace and love, in health and wellness, in fullness and plenty, in loving relationship for and with all. When I now know for myself with blessing, and in deep gratitude, I know for all life. There is only God, there is only God, there is only God. And so I remind us all that this week you and I are out in the world standing in peace, for peace, as peace. Yes? We're all going to remind each other gently as we go through the week, especially those who are living under the one roof together. We're going to remind each other, I am peace, standing in peace, for peace, knowing peace and only peace, and no thing and no one will take me out of this resolution, because so help me God, I have stated it, I believe it, and darn it, I will see it through. Yes? Yeah. Okay, now we're going to sing peace and know it for all the world.